Hi, I'm David Sweet. I'm one of the consultant neonatologists in Royal Maternity Hospital, and I'm also the first author of the European guidelines for the management of RDS. We've been doing humidification of gases now for about 2 years in terms of stabilising babies less than about 32 weeks, and we've been very impressed with the successful outcomes that we've had. We've had a number of babies who've been able to spend even 20 minutes skin to skin with their mums on systems that deliver heated humidified gases, and we found that those infants have a much higher chance of a normal admission temperature. There's been a couple of randomised controlled trials recently. When put together, there's over 470 babies have been randomised less than 32 weeks. And these studies have shown us that if you are using heated humidified gases along with the usual things that we normally use for prevention of heat loss, you get an additional 36% reduction in the risk of admission hypothermia. That's a temperature less than 36.5. And given that we're trying to keep babies warm at all times, it seems logical that we should be trying to do this. We've known for many years that the babies who are hypothermic on admission have worse outcomes. What we don't know for definite is that if we try and increase their temperature at admission, whether that changes the outcome, because obviously babies that are sick already are going to have low temperatures. But it does seem logical, particularly in view of the fact that the studies have shown us that by improving the temperature you reduce the risk of severe IVH as well. It seems like a sensible thing to try and do everything in your power to try and make sure babies stay warm at all times. When you're in the neonatal unit itself, the humidifiers are already set up and they're made for use over a long period of time. If you've got to have humidification in the delivery suite, we have to have protocols in place for filling and starting the humidification process. So it does involve a little bit of extra training for staff, but it's not an insurmountable problem. I think the staff are generally on board with the fact that it needs to be done, but there is a process of training and new things need to be learned if you have to have protocols. I think newborn stabilisation guidelines have always had in place having prevention of heat loss is one of the things that you're trying to achieve. And traditionally we've always emphasised the need for being inside plastic bags under radiant warmers in order to prevent heat loss. But just with the advent of these more recent clinical trials showing that in addition to using the occlusive wrap and radiant warmers, if you humidify the gases you get even more reduction in the risk of hypothermia. It seemed like an important thing to include it in the most recent guideline.